So one of the things that I think LSU needs to figure out, if they're going to be the team that we kind of all hyped them up to be and really thought they would be, the hype wasn't without belief. They went 10-4 last year. They won the SEC West. There's a reason why people held this team in such high regard. There's a reason why they were ranked in the top 5 to begin the season. But one thing that I wondered about that was kind of a question mark coming into the season and didn't get answered at all in this Florida State game was the vertical passing attack. It's not existent right now for LSU. I think they really took, I guess you could say 2, but it was, for all intents and purposes, 1 downfield shot, and the ball was underthrown to Brian Thomas, I think it was, on the sideline. Other than that, there was no north-south passing game. It was all east-west, maybe a little northwest, northeast, whatever. Point is, it wasn't stuff that will stretch out a defense, that will move a safety back, that will force a corner to respect the receivers. And that is something you need to have as an offense if you want to have all the tools in the toolbox. And national champion teams have all the tools in the toolbox. It's a big toolbox. You got every kind of thing you can need. All the screws, all the screwdrivers, all the hammers. You kind of get what I'm saying here. You need to have as many weapons as possible and be able to attack as many teams as possible in a lot of different ways. And did not see that downfield passing attack, which is critical for offenses that want to execute and achieve on a very high level, and that's concerning. Florida State, this is kind of the disclaimer that I'm using for pretty much everything I say about the Seminoles. Great team, great defense, one of the best in college football. They should make the college football playoff, run the table, go undefeated. That's what I think, at least, and they have the talent to do that, for sure. So take kind of this with a grain of salt. I don't think you'll see many defenses this year at the level of what Florida State had from a talent, experience, scheme standpoint. But we didn't really even see any semblance of a downfield passing attack. LSU averaged about 9 yards per completion. So while Daniels went over 300 passing yards in this game, they weren't for big chunks. And they had one big play. I know what you guys are thinking at home. John, they actually did have a downfield passing attack, shot, whatever, that worked. It was a Brian Thomas. Yeah, fine. Against FSU's backup defense in the last, 2 minutes of the game. On a ball that was thrown into zone coverage and Thomas, broke a tackle, whatever. I mean, it was a good play. Don't get me wrong, but not one that starting defense would allow whatsoever. That was a 75-yard touchdown. So erase that from the completion average per pass. Probably looking at 8, if that. Brian Thomas himself, he looked good. He was the wide receiver too, I would say, in this game. 7 catches, 142 yards, and that long touchdown. But you take away that 75-yard touchdown, and he's got Malik Neighbors-esque numbers in this game. Neighbors had 6 catches for 67 yards. Just little chunks, nickels and dimes here and there. That's important. You've got to be able to do that. You got to be able to walk to the gumball machine and take out a couple of gumballs. But sometimes you got to go to the counter and buy the chocolate bar for a couple dollars, right? You got to have the ability to attack down the field, take out big scooping handfuls while also taking 1 or 2 M&Ms here and there. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't show at least that they have that capability. And if they did that on purpose, I don't know why, because you're playing to win the game here in week 1 against Florida State, especially when you're down by 2-3 possessions in the second half. You should be trying to score in as few plays and as quick as possible, really, and they just didn't really do that. So Thomas's numbers inflated. Neighbors didn't have much of a big impact, probably, 10 yards a catch? Good, but as the wide receiver 1, you expect more, and there just wasn't that, that pass down the sideline that you'd see Justin Jefferson go up and get and then take it 70 more yards for a touchdown, or Jamar Chase catch in the open space or win a jump ball one-on-one downfield, or any of the extremely talented receivers on that 2019 offense. That offense could not only attack you over the middle and get a 15-yard gain on a slant, they could also have a jump ball for a touchdown, or at least a deep passing play against a blitz result in an 80-yard big play, explosive play. Think of how many explosive plays Florida State had. That's what a good offense should look like. Yeah, you'll pick up the first yards when you need them. You'll pick up the 20 yards when you need those pickups. You'll also just cash in on a 60, 70-yard touchdown. LSU did not do that, and I don't think they can do that until I'm proven otherwise. So, not many deep balls in this game. The ones that were thrown deep weren't executed, underthrown, whatever. One thing that might help real quick, go 4 wide more. Stop with this 2 tight end stuff. I know LSU kind of said in the offseason they want to run more 2 tight end sets with Mason Taylor and whoever else. They didn't work, though. The second tight end that was in the game didn't go out for a reception or a route much, if at all, and blocking was a 0. Like, that dude was getting beat left and right. Gilbro, I think his name was. Take him out of the game. You may as well put 4 receivers on the field. We didn't really see Shelton Sampson. We didn't really see Chris Hilton. We didn't see Aaron Anderson much. You got weapons on the sideline, speedy guys that can make plays. Put them in the game. Use the athletes you know you have. Stop trying to force a personnel set that just doesn't work. That would be my word of advice, kind of something that I'm hoping to see change in the future. Because LSU made it clear. They're going back to the drawing board, and they're changing things moving forward. Because whatever they planned to do, whatever they thought they could do, did not work in this game. So that's one of the biggest things that this team needs to develop or prove it can do this season if it wants to be more than just a 7-8 win football team. And it's develop a vertical downfield passing game.